Ah, Valentine's Day. You know that feeling when it's just around the corner. For some of us, it's pure excitement. For others, it's, well, a sense of impending doom. It's this exact tension, this yearly conflict, that we're going to unpack right now. So, which is it? Is it this amazing romantic dream, a day for grand gestures and really connecting with someone you love? Or is it just a total commercial nightmare? You know, a holiday basically cooked up to make us feel pressured, spend a ton of money, and maybe even feel a little bit bad about ourselves? All right, to really get into this, let's meet the two sides of our debate. First up, we've got Priya. She's a believer. For her, this day is all about celebrating the love you have. And then there's Rohan. He's the skeptic. He looks at Valentine's Day and just sees a huge commercialized trap. Their back and forth, it's basically the argument so many of us have every single year. Okay, so where does the fight begin? It almost always starts with the gestures, right? What are you supposed to do? Is it about going big and grand, or is it about something a little more grounded? And Priya comes out swinging, right for the heart of it. She says, look, this isn't some commercialized nonsense. This is a day to just acknowledge us. For her, it's not about buying stuff. It's about carving out a moment to say, hey, what we have is special, and it's worth celebrating. And she's got receipts to back it up. She's saying it's all about the effort and the spirit of it all, you know? It could be big or small. She points to actor Conwar Dillon, who says it's just about making time in our crazy busy lives. Or look at BTS. They put up these love song rose walls in London and Seoul for people to connect. Even White Castle, yeah, the burger joint, turns into love castles with reservations and table service. Or how about this rock star, Clay Roxu, in Legos just handing out roses to strangers? For Priya, all these things, from the kind of silly to the super sweet, are part of this bigger collective joy. But Rohan is just not having it. He fires right back. He's like, whoa, I'm not lazy. I'm being practical. You really want me to be like that rapper Offset? He immediately goes for the most over-the-top examples to prove his point that this whole thing has gotten way out of hand. And this really gets to the core of how Rohan sees the world. He's talking about wasteful spectacles, like Offset supposedly getting 10,000 balloons for Cardi B. He points to the insane public pressure on celebrity couples, like all the breakup rumors that fly around. He even brings up actual physical danger, with groups like the Bajrang Dal threatening couples out in public. At the end of the day, for Rohan, it all comes down to empty gestures. As he puts it, flowers die. It's a waste of money. Simple as that. So you can see how this escalates pretty fast. We're not just talking about flowers and candy anymore. Now we're diving into a much deeper debate. What even is love? Is it about philosophy, or is it about cold, hard reality? And this chart really lays out their two completely different worldviews. On one side, you have Priya's idealism. She thinks love needs to be expressed, poetically, publicly. She'll point to something like actress Nayanthara's beautiful letter to her husband, calling him my home in human form. Then you have Rohan's pragmatism. He's all about the steady, daily commitment. He's pulling from Aristotle, for crying out loud, saying real love is about helping your partner grow through everyday habits, not putting on a show one day a year. But Rohan isn't content to just debate philosophy. He decides to take it to a much darker place. He's about to deliver a reality check, bringing up what he sees as the really dangerous side of Valentine's Day. And yeah, these are some pretty grim cautionary tales he uses as evidence. He talks about a public brawl in UP where a husband catches his wife with her lover, and an even more tragic story of a murder-suicide in Noida over an affair. Rohan's point is that the pressure of this one day doesn't create love. It just pours gasoline on already messy, desperate situations and pushes them into total chaos. This all leads to a bigger question about the spirit of the day itself, right? Is it this big, happy celebration we should all jump into? Or is it just a cloud of cynicism and anxiety that's better to stay away from? And their views on the atmosphere could not be more different. Priya looks at it and says it's like Diwali or Christmas. We participate in the collective joy. But Rohan's take? I try to avoid it, to keep our sanity intact. I mean, they are on completely different planets. But Priya comes right back at that cynicism with a ton of evidence for a more positive spirit. She brings up the OIE Foundation, which gave 35 specially abled kids helicopter rides. I mean, how amazing is that? She also points out that it's not just about romantic love. TV star Nahar Kachaksi celebrated with her girl gang, and then she pulls out the ultimate example of personal growth, Taylor Swift, who went from writing cynical songs about Valentine's Day as a teenager to now embracing this huge public love story.
Okay, so the argument is at a total fever pitch. And then something shifts. It's not another shout, it's a single word. A kind of weird word, honestly. And it changes everything. This is where we start to see a path to compromise.
This is the moment. Rohan, trying to sound smart, probably drops this word into the conversation. He asks Priya, "You want the Amarathine love, right?" It's a total gambit. He's trying to define his kind of practical love using a word that sounds, well, poetic enough for her. So let's just stop for a second. What on earth is amaranthine? Well, it's an adjective that comes from a mythical Greek flower, the amaranth, that was said to never wilt or fade. So it means unfading, everlasting, eternal. And this one word, this is the whole key. It becomes the pivot point for their entire debate.
And this is where it gets really clever. They both grab onto this word and try to make it fit their own definition of love. Rohan says, see, Amaranthian love is my kind of love. It's paying the mortgage on time, it's safety, it's consistency. But Priya fires back, no, no, no. An enduring affection is great, but it's Amaranthian because you show it, you express it.
So how do they finally break the stalemate? Well, it happens in a few steps. First, Priya makes a demand, but it's super simple. She just says, let's go out, even for coffee. That's it. And surprisingly, Rowan concedes. He agrees to the coffee date. He completely abandons his no celebration rule. But then he offers a compromise of his own. He'll write her a letter, but it's going to be a rational, safe, and Amaranthian letter. And Priya, she takes the deal. She says, I'll take it. Let's go.
And that's how it ends. You know, there's no big winner here. No grand gestures for Priya, but Rohan didn't get to just ignore the day either. It's just a truce, a coffee date, and the promise of a letter. It's the perfect middle ground they found between his pragmatism and her poetry.
And in the end, their core beliefs are still there, perfectly summed up in these last two thoughts. Rohan is still convinced, I love you every day, not just when the calendar tells me to. And Priya is just as certain. Love isn't always rational. That's the point. It's emotional. And that really leaves the question for all of us, doesn't it? Is true love amaranthine? Is it this eternal, unfading thing that just exists no matter what the calendar says? Or, like any flower, does it still need a special day, a little sunshine and attention for it to really, truly bloom?